What if Palpatine chose Anakin over Vader? Let's explore the depths of it in the video. The volcanic rivers of Mustafar flow like molten veins across the planet's ravaged surface. Ash falls like black snow, coating everything in a layer of death. The air itself seems to scream with the dark side, thick with suffering and hate. Emperor Palpatine's Lambda-class shuttle descends through the sulfurous clouds, its wings folding as it approaches the landing platform near the collection facility. Inside the shuttle, Palpatine sits in meditation, his yellow eyes closed, his withered hands resting on his knees. He can feel it through the Force. His apprentice, his weapon, his carefully crafted tool lying broken on the shores of a lava river. Darth Vader, or what should have been Darth Vader, clinging to life through sheer hatred and the dark side's refusal to let him die. But something gives the Emperor pause, a calculation, a consideration he hadn't fully explored until this moment. The plan had been so perfect. Anakin Skywalker, the Chosen One, transformed into Darth Vader, encased in armor, kept in constant pain, forever dependent on Palpatine for survival. A leash disguised as life support. A slave who thought himself a lord. Yet now, feeling the extent of Anakin's injuries, Palpatine's brilliant mind races through alternatives. A crippled apprentice, limited by machinery, unable to reach his full potential. Forever trapped at perhaps 80% of what he could be. Powerful. Yes, but not as powerful as the Chosen One at his peak. Or there is another path. Heal him completely. Use ancient Sith techniques, the finest medical technology. Drain the dark side itself if necessary. Restore Anakin Skywalker to wholeness. Risk having an apprentice at full strength, one who might one day challenge him, but wield that strength like the sharpest blade in the galaxy. The shuttle lands. Clone troopers stand at attention. Medical droids waiting with the surgical capsule. Inside that capsule, the armor waits, black as the void, designed to imprison as much as protect. Palpatine descends the ramp slowly, his eyes scanning the hellish landscape. The facility looms in the distance, belching smoke and flame. And there, at the edge of a lava flow, he sees him, Anakin Skywalker, or what remains of him. The young man's body is a ruin of charred flesh and exposed muscle. His legs end in blackened stumps. One arm is gone entirely, the other barely functional. His lungs, damaged by superheated air, struggle with each breath. His face, once handsome, is a mask of burns and agony. Only his eyes remain, blue and filled with such pain that even Palpatine, master of cruelty, almost feels something like pity. Almost, the Emperor approaches slowly, his robes dragging through the ash. Clone troopers move to follow, but he waves them back with one dismissive gesture. This moment is between master and apprentice alone. Anakin's eyes focus on him with difficulty. His lips move, trying to form words, but his damaged throat can only produce a rasping wheeze. Palpatine can hear the question anyway, carried on the Force, like a desperate plea. Padme, is she alive? The lie comes easily. She died, my boy. In your anger, in the battle with Obi-Wan, she was caught between you. But her death was not in vain. The galaxy will have order now. Peace. Everything you wanted. The anguish in Anakin's eyes is delicious. Palpatine feeds on it, draws strength from it. This is what the dark side offers. Power born from suffering. And Anakin's suffering is exquisite. But then Palpatine looks closer, feels deeper, and realizes something crucial. This suffering, this pain, it's too much, too raw, too unfocused. Anakin is drowning in it, losing himself in the agony. He's not channeling it into power. He's simply being consumed. In this state, trapped in the armor, kept in constant pain, he would be useful, but not transcendent. Not the weapon Palpatine truly needs to maintain his empire against all threats. The Jedi are scattered, yes, but not destroyed. The rebellion will rise, threats will emerge, and for those challenges, Palpatine needs Anakin at his absolute peak. The Emperor makes his decision. He gestures to the medical team. Bring every resource we have. I want him healed, completely. The clone commander steps forward, confusion evident even through his helmet. My lord? The armor is ready. The surgical suite is prepared. Change of plans, Commander. We're not making Darth Vader today. We're saving Anakin Skywalker. The medical facility on Imperial Center, the planet soon to be renamed Coruscant, is a marvel of technology. Palpatine has spared no expense, calling in the finest surgeons in the galaxy, gathering medical droids programmed with techniques from a dozen different species. The Bacta tanks are the largest ever constructed, filled with fluid, so pure it glows with an almost ethereal light. But more than technology, Palpatine brings ancient knowledge, Sith scrolls thousands of years old, describing healing techniques the Jedi never dared explore. Ways to use the dark side not just to harm, but to restore. The price is high, the pain immense, but Palpatine cares nothing for Anakin's comfort. Only results matter. Anakin floats in the massive Bacta tank, unconscious, his ravaged body suspended in the healing fluid. Tubes and wires connect to him, monitoring every vital sign, pumping nutrients and medicines into his system. Around the tank, Sith artifacts pulse with dark energy, their power channeled into the healing process. And while Anakin's body heals, Palpatine works on his mind. The Emperor stands before the tank for hours each day, his hands pressed against the transparent steel, his consciousness reaching into Anakin's dreams. There, in the space between sleep and waking, Palpatine plants his carefully crafted narrative. Anakin dreams of Padme dying. Over and over, he sees her fall, watches her life slip away. In some dreams, Obi-Wan strikes her down deliberately. In others, Anakin himself, lost in rage, uses the Force to choke her. Each variation designed to reinforce the same message. The Jedi did this. Obi-Wan did this. Your attachment, your love, led to her death. But then Palpatine adds something new to the dreams. A vision of hope, twisted and dark. Padme alive, but in hiding. Afraid of what Anakin has become. Protected by the treacherous Jedi who tore them apart. If only Anakin serves the Empire faithfully, if only he grows strong enough, he can find her, can bring her home, can make her understand that everything he did was for her. The lie is perfect because it contains what Anakin desperately wants to believe. Weeks pass, the burns fade, replaced by new skin grown through a combination of Bacta treatment and Sith alchemy. The damaged lungs regenerate, tissue rebuilt cell by cell. Cybernetic implants are installed, but only where absolutely necessary. A small device in his chest to regulate his heartbeat. neural interfaces, where nerves were too damaged to repair naturally. But nothing like the invasive machinery that would have consumed Vader. His limbs are the greatest challenge. The legs, burned away entirely, must be replaced with cybernetics. But these are not the crude prosthetics of the armor. They are works of art, responsive as natural flesh, strong enough to enhance his already formidable abilities. The arm, too, is replaced, a marvel of engineering that responds to his thoughts with perfect precision. When the treatments are finally complete, when Anakin is lifted from the Bacta tank for the last time, the medical droids report their findings with something approaching awe. Subject vitals are excellent. Mobility at 98% of baseline. Strength enhanced by cybernetic integration. Midi-chlorian count unchanged. Force sensitivity fully intact. Palpatine dismisses them and approaches Anakin's recovery bed alone. The young man lies still, eyes closed, but the Emperor can sense consciousness returning. It's time for the final manipulation. He arranges himself carefully, his face composed into an expression of grandfatherly concern. When Anakin's eyes finally flutter open, no longer yellow with Sith corruption, but returned to their natural blue, Palpatine is ready. Where am I? Anakin's voice is rough from disuse, but it's his voice. No mechanical rasp, no vocabulator distortion. Just him. Safe, my boy. You are safe. Palpatine's voice drips with false warmth. You were gravely injured on Mustafar. The battle with Obi-Wan nearly killed you. I arrived just in time to save your life. Anakin tries to sit up and is startled to find he can. His body responds to his commands without the screaming agony he expected. He looks down at his hands, flexes them, feels the force flowing through him like a river that had been dammed and is now free. I can move. I can breathe. How? I spared no expense. Utilized every resource at my disposal. You are too valuable to lose, Anakin. Too important to the future I am building. So I had you healed, properly and completely. The gratitude in Anakin's eyes is exactly what Palpatine hoped to see. But then, the memories come flooding back, and gratitude transforms to anguish. Padme. Where is Padme? Is she alive? Please, tell me she's alive. Palpatine lets his expression fall, allows false sorrow to cross his features. I am sorry, Anakin. Truly sorry. In your confrontation with Obi-Wan, in the violence of your anger, she was injured. She lives, but she fled. She fears you. Now, she has gone into hiding with the Jedi traitors who turned you against each other. The words are carefully chosen. Padme lives, giving Anakin hope. But she fears him, giving him guilt. And the Jedi are protecting her, giving him a target for his rage. No, no, she can't fear me. I did everything for her, to save her, to protect her. Anakin's hands clench into fists. Where is she? I have to find her. I have to explain. And you will, my apprentice. But the Jedi are cunning. They know that together, you and Padme would be unstoppable. They fear your love, just as they always have. They will hide her well, use all their resources to keep you apart. Palpatine leans forward, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. But I can help you. The empire I am building has eyes everywhere, resources beyond measure. Serve me faithfully, Help me bring order to this chaotic galaxy. And I promise you, we will find her. We will bring her home. We will be a family again." Anakin stares at his restored hands, feeling the power coursing through his veins. Without the limitations of the armor, without constant pain clouding his connection to the Force, he can sense everything so clearly. The dark side whispers to him, offering strength, offering answers. But it also shows him the path Palpatine describes. Work within the system, build his power, find Padme and make her understand. "What do you need me to do?" Palpatine smiles. And in that smile is the satisfaction of a predator who has cornered its prey. "First, we must present you to the galaxy, not as Darth Vader, not as some mysterious enforcer, as Anakin Skywalker, hero of the Republic, the man who discovered the Jedi plot and tried to stop them, the man who nearly died, saving the galaxy from their treachery. But the Jedi weren't traitors. They were trying to stop you. Stop us. Were they? Or were they trying to stop the peace and security the galaxy desperately needs?" Palpatine rises, begins to pace. The Clone Wars devastated countless worlds. Millions dead, trillions of credits wasted. And why? Because the Jedi, in their arrogance, believed they alone could guide the Republic. They made themselves generals, led armies, became the very thing they claimed to stand against. That's not the whole truth, isn't it? Did they not refuse to save your mother when they had the power? Did they not forbid your love for Padme? Did they not deny you the rank of master despite everything you accomplished? The Jedi feared you, Anakin, because you represented what they could not control. Anakin wants to argue, wants to defend the order that raised him, but he can't, because everything Palpatine is saying contains grains of truth, twisted and distorted, but recognizable. The Jedi did fail him in crucial moments. They did fear his power. They did try to control him. What about the younglings? What about the temple? Tragic casualties of war. You were defending yourself against a Jedi coup. Some were caught in the crossfire. Regrettable, but necessary. And now we can ensure such tragedies never happen again. The justification sits like poison in Anakin's stomach, but he swallows it. He has to, because if he doesn't, if he admits what he really did, then Padme's fear makes sense. Then he is the monster, and he cannot, will not accept that. "I will serve you, Master. I will help build this empire, and I will find Padme." Palpatine's smile widens. Good, very good, because the galaxy needs you, Anakin Skywalker. Not as a phantom in the darkness, but as a light they can follow, a hero they can believe in. Together, we will bring peace that will last 1,000 years. 6 months later, the transformation is complete. The galaxy knows Anakin Skywalker not as a Sith Lord, but as the Empire's greatest champion. His face appears on propaganda posters, handsome and unmarred, with the caption, "Order through strength." He gives speeches in the Senate, his voice ringing with conviction as he describes the New Order's vision. The story the Empire tells is masterful in its construction. General Anakin Skywalker discovered a plot by radical Jedi to overthrow Chancellor Palpatine and seize control of the Republic. He confronted them, tried to stop them peacefully, but was forced into battle. The fight left him gravely wounded, nearly dead. But through the Emperor's mercy and the finest medical care, he was saved. Now he serves the Empire, hunting down the last of the Jedi traitors who would plunge the galaxy into chaos. And the galaxy believes it. How could they not? Anakin is no lurking monster in a black mask. He is charismatic, powerful, heroic. When he speaks of bringing peace to war-torn worlds, of protecting families from the Jedi's dangerous mysticism, people listen. They see a war hero who sacrificed everything for order and stability. The Clone Wars left the galaxy desperate for security, willing to trade freedom for safety. And Anakin Skywalker, with his earnest blue eyes and passionate speeches, makes that trade seem noble. But behind the public facade, in the shadows of the Empire, Anakin is something far more terrifying than Darth Vader ever would have been. On Kashyyyk, the massive Rosha trees stretch toward the sky like wooden pillars holding up the heavens. The Wookiees have long been allies of the Jedi, and when Order 66 was executed, many Jedi fled here, seeking refuge. The Empire knows this, and so does Anakin. His ship, a custom Eta II Actis interceptor painted in Imperial gray, descends through the canopy. He's alone. No clone troopers to slow him down. This is how he prefers to work now. Swift, efficient, unstoppable. The Wookiee guards at the refugee camp spot him immediately. They recognize the Jedi, their friend from the Clone Wars, and for a moment they hesitate. That hesitation costs them their lives. Anakin's lightsaber ignites, blue and familiar, and with two swift strikes, the guards fall. Inside the camp, Jedi Master Luminara Unduli is teaching a group of younglings basic meditation techniques. These children, rescued from the Temple massacre, represent the future of the Jedi Order. If they can survive long enough to grow and learn, she feels Anakin's presence in the Force like a dark star and immediately stands. Younglings, run. Take the escape route we prepared. Do not look back. Do not stop. But Master Luminara, one of the children, protests. We can help you. No, you cannot. Now, go. The children scatter into the undergrowth as Luminara ignites her lightsaber and steps out to meet Anakin. He's walking through the camp with mechanical precision, his saber cutting through any Wookiee brave enough to stand in his way. When he sees her, he stops. Master Unduli, it's been a long time. Anakin, please. Luminara's voice is calm despite the fear she feels. You were one of us. You were the best of us. These are children. Innocent children who have nothing to do with the war or politics. Let them go. They're future threats to order, future agents of chaos. The Jedi indoctrinate children from infancy, turn them into weapons for their own agenda. I cannot allow that to continue. Is that what you tell yourself? That you're protecting the galaxy? Luminara shifts into a defensive stance. Or do you know the truth? That you're hunting children because a Sith Lord commands it. I hunt threats to peace, nothing more. He moves with blinding speed, crossing the distance between them in a heartbeat. Their blades clash in the massive trees, green against blue, sending sparks cascading through the air. Luminara is an exceptional duelist. Her Form 3 defensive technique nearly perfect. But Anakin is something beyond skill now. He is power incarnate. Their fight takes them up into the trees, leaping from branch to branch. Luminara uses the terrain to her advantage, but Anakin adapts instantly. Every move she makes, he's already countered. Every technique she employs, he knows intimately. They trained together for years, fought side by side in the Clone Wars. He knows her as well as he knows himself. "Why are you doing this?" Luminara gasps as she barely parries another strike. "We trained together. We fought together for the Republic. This isn't you, Anakin. This isn't who you are. You don't know who I am. None of you ever did. You saw what you wanted to see. The chosen one. The hero. But you never saw me. Never understood what I needed. What I was willing to do to protect those I love. And what did that get you? Everyone you loved either dead or hiding from you. Is this really what Padme would have wanted?" The mention of her name strikes like a physical blow. For just a moment, something flickers in Anakin's eyes. Pain, regret, maybe even recognition of what he's become. But then it's gone. Buried under layers of justification and dark side corruption. "Don't you dare speak her name." He sweeps her legs out from under her with a force-enhanced kick. She falls hard on the branch, and Anakin catches her lightsaber as it tumbles from her grip. Now, wielding both blades, he advances. "I'm sorry it has to be this way, Master. You were a good teacher, a good Jedi, but the old ways are gone. There's only the Empire now, only order." He brings both lightsabers down in a crossing slash, cutting through the massive branch beneath them. Luminara falls, plummeting toward the forest floor far below. Anakin watches her fall without expression, then deactivates her lightsaber and clips it to his belt. Another trophy, another reminder that the Jedi Order is dying. But the younglings are still running, and Anakin can sense them through the Force. 6 bright points of light fleeing through the forest. He leaps down from the trees, landing with barely a sound, and begins his hunt. The first child he finds is hiding in a hollow log, trying desperately to suppress her presence in the Force. She's perhaps 8 years old, a Twi'lek girl, with blue skin and tears streaming down her face. When Anakin approaches, she looks up at him with wide, terrified eyes. "Please, don't hurt me. I just want to go home." Anakin stares down at her, and for a moment, he sees another child. A boy on Tatooine, frightened and alone, desperate for someone to save him. He sees himself. Then he ignites his lightsaber, and the screaming stops. One by one, he tracks down the younglings. The forest floor becomes a scene of tragedy. Small bodies hidden among the roots and undergrowth. By the time he returns to his ship, all 6 lights have been extinguished from the Force. As he flies away from Kashyyyk, Anakin sits in his cockpit and stares at his hands. They're steady, unmarked by the blood he's spilled. The dark side whispers approval, tells him he did what was necessary, that these deaths will prevent future suffering. That order requires sacrifice. He wants to believe it. He has to believe it. Because if he doesn't, if he admits what he's really become, then everything falls apart. The Holonet News reports a tragic incident on Kashyyyk. Separatist holdouts attacked a refugee camp, killing Jedi Master Luminara Unduli and several innocents before being driven off by Imperial forces. Hero Anakin Skywalker led the relief effort personally, but arrived too late to save the victims. He gives a solemn speech about the ongoing separatist threat and the need for continued vigilance. And the galaxy believes him because they want to. Because the alternative, that their hero is hunting down children, is too horrible to accept. On Tatooine, Obi-Wan Kenobi sits in his small hut and listens to the report. His hands tremble as he sets down the holo projector. He knows the truth, knows that Anakin is lying, that there were no separatist holdouts, that his former apprentice is personally hunting down the Jedi. But what can he do? Reveal the truth? Who would believe him? The Jedi are already portrayed as traitors and coup plotters. Any accusation he makes will be dismissed as the desperate lies of a wanted criminal. He steps outside and looks toward the Lars homestead in the distance. Young Luke is there, barely more than an infant, sleeping peacefully while his aunt and uncle watch over him. The boy has no idea that his father is one of the most dangerous beings in the galaxy, has no idea of the legacy of violence and tragedy he's been born into. Obi-Wan thinks about taking Luke and running, fleeing to the unknown regions. Somewhere, even the Empire's reach cannot extend, but he knows he can't. This is where he needs to be, watching over the boy, waiting for the day when Luke might be the galaxy's only hope. His comm device chirps. It's a heavily encrypted channel, one only a few people in the galaxy know how to access. When he answers, Yoda's wizened face appears in hologram form. Seen the reports? You have. More dangerous than we feared. He is Master Yoda. This is worse than Vader would have been. Anakin without limitations, without the constant pain. He's unstoppable, and the galaxy loves him for it. The suit would have been a mercy. Yoda's ears droop with sadness. Weakened him, it would have given us a chance. But at full strength, unlimited by injury, even match for him I may not be. Then what do we do? We can't fight him. We can't expose him. We can barely survive. Wait. We must. Watch. Protect those we can. The dark side clouds everything. But one truth remains. Eventually, confront his choices. He will face what he has become. Our hope is that when that day comes, strong enough to turn back, he will be. And if he isn't, Yoda is silent for a long moment. Then the galaxy will need a new hope. Young Luke, or his sister. Train them we may have to. When old enough they are, the connection ends. Obi-Wan sits in the darkness of his hut, listening to the wind howl across the dune sea, and wonders how it all went so wrong. 3 years pass. 3 years of Anakin hunting Jedi across the galaxy with brutal efficiency. 3 years of the Empire tightening its grip, transforming the Republic into a totalitarian state. 3 years of Anakin's face smiling from propaganda posters while he commits atrocities in the shadows. But cracks are forming, not in the Empire's facade, but in Anakin himself. It starts small, a moment of hesitation before striking down a Jedi Padawan. A flash of memory, seeing Ahsoka's face instead of his victims. He pushes through it, completes the mission, but the hesitation was there. Then it grows. He begins having dreams that aren't planted by Palpatine. Dreams of Padme, alive and healthy, telling him he's become a monster. Dreams of his mother, looking at him with disappointed eyes. Dreams of Qui-Gon, the master who believed in him, shaking his head in sorrow. He wakes from these dreams in a cold sweat, his heart racing. He reaches for the dark side to suppress the feelings, but they keep coming back. Doubt, guilt, self-loathing, and then he makes a mistake. On Onderon, he's hunting a Jedi Knight named Ferren Barr. Intelligence reports suggest Barr is organizing a rebellion cell, using his Force abilities to inspire resistance. Anakin tracks him to an underground bunker beneath the capital city. The bunker is filled with civilians, refugees from the Clone Wars who have nowhere else to go. Barr is there, but he's not training insurgents. He's healing the sick, using the Force to ease suffering wherever he can. When Anakin enters, the civilians scatter in terror, but Barr stands his ground, his hands raised peacefully. Anakin Skywalker, I'm glad it's you they sent. Maybe there's still hope. Hope for what? That you'll remember who you used to be. The Jedi who freed slaves. The general who protected innocence. The man who believed in justice. Anakin ignites his lightsaber. That man died on Mustafar, did he? Or is he just buried under 3 years of lies and guilt? Look around you, Anakin. Look at these people. They're not a threat. They're not insurgents. They're just trying to survive in the empire you helped create. Against his will, Anakin looks. He sees families huddled together, children clutching their parents. He sees the sick and injured, barely clinging to life. He sees people who have lost everything, driven to hiding in bunkers beneath the earth. And he sees Tatooine, the slaves of Mos Espa, his mother, working herself to exhaustion, the injustice he swore to end. These people need to be relocated to proper Imperial facilities. Once there, they'll be cared for. Ferren Barr laughs, a bitter sound. Cared for? Half of them will be conscripted as slave labor. The others will disappear into detention centers, never to be seen again. You know this, Anakin. Deep down, you know what the Empire really is. The Empire is order, peace, security. The Empire is tyranny. And you, the chosen one, who was supposed to bring balance to the Force, have become its greatest weapon. Anakin's hand trembles. The lightsaber wavers. For just a moment, he considers Barr's words, considers the possibility that everything he's done for the past 3 years has been a mistake, that Padme was right to fear him, that he's become exactly what he sought to destroy. Then his comm chirps. Palpatine's voice, smooth and commanding, fills the bunker. Lord Skywalker, report. Have you eliminated the Jedi threat? And just like that, the moment passes. The doubt is buried under the weight of his commitment, his sunk cost. He's gone too far to turn back now, done too much. If he admits he was wrong, then every death is meaningless, every sacrifice in vain. The threat is eliminated, Master. He strikes before Barr can react, his blade cutting through the Jedi's defenses. As Barr falls, Anakin turns to the civilians. They shrink back, terrified, knowing what comes next. But Anakin surprises himself. He doesn't kill them. Instead, he calls for Imperial transport, has them relocated to refugee centers, not labor camps. It's a small mercy, meaningless in the grand scheme of his crimes. But it's something, a crack in the armor of justification he's built around himself. That night, in his quarters on Imperial Center, Anakin cannot sleep. He stands at the window, looking out over the cityscape, the endless streams of traffic flowing between towering buildings. Out there, somewhere in the galaxy, Padme is hiding. His children, if the whispers he's heard are true, are growing up without knowing their father. He thinks about searching for them again, about making it his priority. But he knows Palpatine is watching, waiting for any sign of divided loyalty. The Emperor has made it clear: serve faithfully, and you may find your family. Betray me, and they die. It's a golden leash, no less binding than the chains he wore as a slave on Tatooine. His comm chimes. It's an intelligence report, and what he reads makes his blood run cold. Senator Bail Organa of Alderaan has been intercepted communicating with known Jedi sympathizers using encryption codes stolen from the Old Republic. The Senate Intelligence Bureau recommends investigation. Bail Organa, Padmé's closest friend. If anyone knows where she is, it would be him. Anakin doesn't sleep that night. Instead, he plots his journey to Alderaan. The planet of Alderaan floats in space like a jewel, its surface covered in pristine mountains, crystalline cities, and vast grasslands. It's a world of culture and learning, a beacon of civilization in the galaxy. And now it's Anakin's hunting ground. He arrives without warning in the dead of night, his ship landing directly on the royal palace's upper platform. Security forces scramble, but they're no match for a Jedi moving at full speed. Anakin is inside the palace before alarms can even sound. He finds Bail in his private office, reviewing documents by the light of a single lamp. The senator looks up when the door opens, and for a moment, fear crosses his face. Then it's replaced by something like resignation. Anakin, I knew you'd come eventually. Bail sets down his datapad and stands. How did you find me? Imperial intelligence intercepts all communications, Senator. Your encryption was good, but not good enough. Anakin seals the door behind him, locking them in the office together. I need to ask you some questions, and if I refuse to answer, then we'll have a much more unpleasant conversation. But I'm hoping it doesn't come to that. We were friends once, Bail. You were there when Padmé and I needed allies. I'd prefer not to hurt you. Friends? Bail's voice hardens. Friends don't hunt down innocent people. Friends don't murder children. Friends don't transform themselves into tools of tyranny. Whatever you think we were, Anakin, that ended the day you chose the dark side. I didn't have a choice. The Jedi forced my hand. They tried to kill the Chancellor, tried to seize power. Is that what you tell yourself? That you were forced? Bail steps around his desk. I've seen the reports, Anakin. The real reports. Not the propaganda the Empire broadcasts. Kashyyyk, Onderon. A dozen other worlds where you've massacred anyone who might pose a threat. You weren't forced. You chose this. Anakin's hand moves to his lightsaber, not quite drawing it, but making the threat clear. Tell me where Padmé is. I don't know. And even if I did, I'd die before I told you. For a moment, Anakin just stares at him. Then, he raises his hand, and Bail lifts off the ground, an invisible grip closing around his throat. The senator struggles, his face reddening. But Anakin's control is absolute. I don't want to hurt you, Bail, but I will. I've come too far, done too much to stop now. Tell me where she is, and this ends peacefully. Bail manages to choke out words between gasps. She wouldn't want this. Padme wouldn't want you hunting her like prey. She'd want you to stop, to turn back before it's too late. It's already too late. Now tell me what you know. But Bail, the man who helped found the rebellion, who risked everything for what was right, refuses to break. Even as Anakin increases the pressure, even as blood trickles from his nose, he says nothing. Anakin releases him, and Bail collapses to the floor, coughing. Then, what about the child? Bail's eyes widen. How did you, a little girl, Force sensitive, connected to you somehow? I can sense her. Who is she? My daughter. My adopted daughter, Leia. She has nothing to do with this. She's innocent, liar. Anakin strides to the window, overlooking the palace gardens. Even from here, through the Force, he can sense the child playing somewhere in the building. Strong in the Force, incredibly so for someone so young. And there's something familiar about her presence, something that calls to him on a level deeper than thought. He reaches out with the Force, touching the child's mind gently. And in that instant, he knows. The connection is immediate and undeniable. This isn't Bail's daughter. This is his daughter, Leia. His and Padme's. The Force signature is unmistakable, a perfect blend of their essences. Anakin turns back to Bail, his voice barely a whisper. She's mine, isn't she? Leia is my daughter. Bail says nothing, but his silence is confirmation enough. Anakin's mind races. A daughter. Padme had given birth, which means there must be another. Twins run in Padme's family. If Leia is here, then somewhere else, his son, is hidden. Where is the other one? Where is my son? Bail struggles to his feet, blood staining his senatorial robes. You can kill me, Anakin. You can tear this palace apart. But I will not give you those children. I will not let you turn them into what you've become. They're my children. I have a right to know them. Rights? Bail laughs, a harsh, broken sound. You gave up your rights when you betrayed everything you stood for. Those children deserve better than a father who serves a Sith Lord. They deserve a chance to grow up free. Not as tools in Palpatine's grand design. Anakin's hand trembles. Every instinct screams at him to break Bail's mind, to rip the information from him by force. He has the power. He has the skill. One focused application of the Force and Bail would tell him everything. But something stops him. Maybe it's a flicker of the man he used to be. Maybe it's the knowledge that Padme loved Bail like a brother, and destroying him would destroy any hope of reconciliation. Or maybe it's just exhaustion, the weight of 3 years of atrocities finally becoming too much to bear. Instead, Anakin does something more subtle. As Bail collapses, unconscious but alive from the Force choke, Anakin plants a microscopic tracking device in the fabric of his robes. Then he turns and leaves, his mind churning with this new revelation. I have children. I'm a father. The thought should fill him with joy. But instead, it fills him with fear. What kind of father has he become? What would his children think of him if they knew? Would they see the hero the Empire proclaims, or the monster Padme fled from? Back on his ship, Anakin sits in the cockpit and stares at the tracking monitor. Bail will recover. And when he does, when he realizes the danger, he'll try to warn whoever is protecting Anakin's son. The tracker will lead Anakin right to them. But as he watches the blinking signal, Anakin feels something he hasn't felt in 3 years. Doubt. Real. Crushing. Doubt about everything he's done and everything he's become. The tracking device leads him to Tatooine. Of course it does. The Force has a cruel sense of irony, bringing him back to the world where it all began. Anakin lands in the Dune Sea, far from any settlement, and approaches on foot. The twin suns beat down on him mercilessly, but his body, no longer limited by the suit's poor cooling systems, handles the heat easily. He moves through the desert like a shadow, following the tracker's signal toward the Lars homestead. Owen and Beru Lars live in the same moisture farm where Anakin's mother once slaved. The irony isn't lost on him. His son, if that's where the tracker leads, is growing up in the same place Anakin spent his childhood dreaming of escape. He stops at a ridge overlooking the homestead and pulls out macro binoculars. There, in the small courtyard, a young boy plays with a toy skyhopper. The child has light hair, sun-bleached, and wild. Even from this distance, even without the Force, Anakin can see the resemblance. Luke. The name comes to him through the Force, a whisper of knowledge. Luke Skywalker. Anakin watches his son play, and something inside him breaks. This is what he's been fighting for. This is what all the death and destruction was supposed to protect. His family, his children, the chance for them to grow up safe and free. But looking at Luke laughing in the sun, building imaginary adventures with his toy, Anakin realizes the terrible truth. The greatest threat to his son's safety isn't the Jedi. It isn't the rebellion. It's him. Everything he's become, everything he serves, would destroy the innocence he's watching right now. Anakin, don't. The voice comes from behind him. He doesn't need to turn to know who it is. Obi-Wan Kenobi has tracked him here, followed him to this final confrontation. Anakin stands slowly, his hand moving to his lightsaber. Hello, Obi-Wan. You're looking well for a dead man. Obi-Wan steps into view, his Jedi robes worn and faded from years in the desert. His lightsaber is ready but not ignited, held loosely at his side. I could say the same about you. I left you on that shore expecting you to die or to become the monster Palpatine wanted. But you're neither, are you? You're something worse, something in between. I'm exactly what I need to be. Anakin gestures toward the homestead. And that boy is my son. Stand aside. He's innocent, Anakin. Just like the younglings you killed on Kashyyyk. Just like every Jedi you've hunted. When does it end? When do you stop destroying everything good you ever had? When I have my family back. When Padme and my children are with me, where they belong, where I can protect them from all the threats in the galaxy. Protect them. Obi-Wan shakes his head sadly. Padme would rather die than see what you've become. And those children deserve better than a father who serves a Sith Lord. They deserve better than you. The words hit harder than any lightsaber strike. Anakin's face twists with pain and rage. You left me to burn. You took everything from me. And now you presume to tell me what I deserve. I left you because you'd already fallen. Because you killed younglings, Anakin. Because you betrayed everything we stood for. Don't you dare act like you're the victim here. Their lightsabers ignite simultaneously. Blue against blue, master against apprentice. brother against brother once more. But this time, it's different from Mustafar. Anakin isn't consumed by rage. He's cold, calculated, fighting with all the skill of a Jedi and all the power of the dark side channeled through perfect control. Obi-Wan gives ground immediately, his defensive Soresu form barely holding against the onslaught. Anakin is faster than he was on Mustafar, stronger, unencumbered by emotion or injury. Every technique Obi-Wan taught him is being used against him with devastating efficiency. They clash across the dunes, their strikes sending up sprays of sand. Obi-Wan parries a blow that would have taken his head, spins away from a thrust that would have impaled him, barely blocks a slash that would have cut him in half. You can't win, old friend. Anakin presses forward relentlessly. You could barely beat me on Mustafar when I was arrogant and reckless. Now I'm focused. Now I'm unstoppable. Perhaps. Obi-Wan parries another strike, sweat dripping down his face. But I don't need to win. I just need to protect that boy long enough for him to escape. Behind them, Owen Lars has seen the lightsabers. He's grabbed Luke and is running for his speeder, trying to get the boy to safety. Anakin senses it and turns, reaching out with the Force to stop them. But Obi-Wan is there, cutting off his concentration, forcing him to defend. Their duel rages across the Dune Sea, two masters of lightsaber combat, locked in a battle neither can afford to lose. Anakin remembers every moment of his training, every lesson Obi-Wan taught him about patience, discipline, the careful application of Force, and he uses all of it against his former master, turning Obi-Wan's own wisdom into weapons. He feints high, strikes low. Obi-Wan blocks, but Anakin was expecting it, already moving into a spinning strike that grazes Obi-Wan's shoulder. The Jedi Master stumbles, and Anakin presses his advantage. Their blades lock, crackling with energy. Anakin's face is inches from Obi-Wan's, his blue eyes burning with intensity. Why do you protect them from me? I'm their father. I have more right to them than some moisture farmers on a backwater planet. Being a father isn't about rights. It's about responsibility. It's about being someone your children can look up to, can trust, can love. And right now, Anakin, you are none of those things. I can change. When I find Padme, when we're together again, I can be better. You can't change while serving Palpatine. You can't be better while hunting innocent people. And you can't be a father worth having while wearing the blood of younglings on your hands. Anakin roars and unleashes a devastating combination of strikes. Obi-Wan's defense crumbles. The final blow sends his lightsaber flying from his hand, and Anakin's fist, enhanced by the Force, slams into Obi-Wan's chest. Obi-Wan crashes into the sand, gasping for breath. Anakin stands over him, lightsaber raised for the killing blow. For 3 years, he's wanted this moment, the chance to end the man who left him to burn, who took everything from him. But looking at Obi-Wan's face, bloodied but still defiant, still trying to protect others even at the cost of his own life, Anakin sees himself reflected in his former master's eyes, and he doesn't like what he sees. Slowly, Anakin lowers his blade. Go, take the boy and run. But know this, I will find them, all of them. And when I do, we'll be a family again, whether you approve or not. He reaches out with the Force and pulls Luke's speeder to a halt in the distance. The boy tumbles out, crying and terrified. Anakin gently levitates him, bringing him floating through the air toward them. Obi-Wan tries to stand, to intervene, but Anakin pushes him back down with the Force. "Watch, old master. Watch as I take back what was stolen from me." Anakin catches Luke, holding the frightened boy in his arms. For a moment, he just looks at him. His son, his child. The Force swirls around them both, and Anakin feels it, the connection, the bond, the potential. Luke could be powerful, could be everything Anakin was meant to be. But he also sees the fear in Luke's eyes, the same fear that was in Padme's when he last saw her. The same fear he's seen in the faces of every Jedi he's hunted down. And for the first time since Mustafar, Anakin questions what he's doing. Is this what he wants? To be feared by his own son? To drag his children into the darkness he's created? To force them into a life they never chose? He thinks about his own childhood. Being a slave, having no choice, no freedom. He swore he would never let anyone control him like that again. And yet here he is, about to do the same thing to his own child. Anakin sets Luke down gently and steps back. The boy runs to Obi-Wan, who wraps him in a protective embrace. Anakin watches them, his expression unreadable. "You're right, Obi-Wan. He deserves better." They both do. Then leave them alone. Let them live in peace. It's not too late to stop this. Anakin turns away, walking back toward his ship. It is too late. It's been too late since the moment I chose this path. But I won't drag them down it with me. Not yet. Not until I understand what I've become. He pauses at the ridge, looking back one last time at the homestead. "Before I go, answer me one question honestly. If I wanted to be better, if I wanted to change, is it even possible? Or am I too far gone?" Obi-Wan helps Luke to his feet, then meets Anakin's gaze across the sand. "I don't know, Anakin. I truly don't. You've done terrible things, killed innocent people, betrayed everything you once stood for. But if any part of the man I trained still exists inside you, if any fragment of Anakin Skywalker remains, then maybe there's still hope. And if there isn't, then the galaxy will need to be protected from you, by whatever means necessary." Anakin nods slowly, accepting this. Then he turns and walks away, leaving his son and former master in the desert. But as he returns to his ship, he plants another tracker. Not on Luke this time, but on Obi-Wan. He'll let them run for now. Let them think they're safe. But he knows where they are, and when the time is right, he'll return. The flight back to Imperial Center gives Anakin time to think, time to process everything he's learned. He has children, twins, Luke and Leia. Padme survived childbirth, meaning the visions were lies, and Palpatine knew. The Emperor had to have known. The realization burns like acid. For 3 years, Anakin has served faithfully, hunted Jedi, committed atrocities, all because Palpatine promised to help him find his family. But the Emperor knew where they were all along, knew and chose not to tell him. Why? The answer comes quickly. Control. As long as Anakin was searching, as long as he believed his service would eventually reunite him with Padme, Palpatine had leverage. But if Anakin actually found them, if he had his family back, he might not be so easily controlled. Anakin's hands tighten on the ship's controls. He's been played, manipulated, used. just like he was used as a slave on Tatooine. The collar has changed, but he's still not free. When he arrives at the Imperial Palace, he requests an immediate audience with the Emperor. Palpatine receives him in his private chambers, surrounded by Sith artifacts and ancient texts. "Ah, Lord Skywalker, I hear your mission to Tatooine was successful. Did you find what you were looking for?" "I found my son. And I found Obi-Wan Kenobi." Palpatine's eyes gleam with interest. "Excellent. And the boy? Will you bring him here for training?" Anakin hesitates. "The boy is young, untrained. It would be premature to blank." "Nonsense. The Force is strong with him, is it not? We could train him together, Anakin. A new apprentice, one we shape from childhood. He could be even more powerful than you, my friend." The words hang in the air. More powerful than you. Anakin stares at Palpatine, really looks at him for the first time in years. The Emperor is old, ancient even, sustained by the dark side, but still decaying. His power is immense, but it's the power of entropy, of slow corruption. And in that moment, Anakin understands. Palpatine doesn't want to help him find his family. He wants to use them, to replace Anakin with his children, to discard him like every other tool once it's outlived its usefulness. The realization should fill him with rage. Instead, he feels something colder, clarity. "I will consider it, Master. But first, I have another lead on Padme's location. Senator Mon Mothma may know where she is. Permission to investigate?" Palpatine waves his hand dismissively. "Do what you must, but do not delay too long. The boy's training should begin soon. Very soon." Anakin bows and leaves. But he doesn't go to find Mon Mothma. Instead, he goes to the Imperial Archives, to the restricted section that only he and the Emperor can access. He searches through confiscated Jedi texts, through ancient holocrons, looking for something, anything that can help him understand what he's become. He finds a holocron left by Qui-Gon Jinn, his first master. The man who believed in him when no one else did. The man who saw him as more than just a slave or a weapon. Anakin hesitates before activating it, knowing that what he might hear could shatter the carefully constructed justifications he's built. But he does it anyway. The hologram flickers to life, showing Qui-Gon's serene face. The recording is old, made years before Naboo. "If you're listening to this, young Anakin, then I am gone, and you face a choice that will define the rest of your life. The Jedi will tell you to abandon attachment, to let go of those you love. The Sith will tell you to claim them, to control them, to never let them go. But both paths lead to the same place, to losing what you sought to protect. There is another way, not the light, not the dark, but balance. To love without possessing, to protect without controlling, to accept that those we care for have their own paths, their own destinies. This is the hardest lesson of all, Anakin, but it is the only way to truly save them. You are strong in the Force, stronger than anyone I've ever trained. But strength without wisdom is just another form of slavery. You can use your power to dominate, to control, to reshape the galaxy in your image. Or you can use it to serve, to protect, to help others find their own way. The choice is yours. It always has been. And whatever you choose, know that I believed in you. Not because of your power or your potential, but because I saw in you a good heart. A boy who wanted to free all the slaves, who dreamed of a better galaxy. Don't let that boy die, Anakin. Don't let fear and anger consume what makes you special. The holocron fades. Anakin sits in the darkness, Qui-Gon's words echoing in his mind. For 3 years, he's hunted Jedi, served the Empire, committed atrocities, all in the name of finding Padme and protecting his family. But what will he do when he finds her? Drag her back in chains? Force her to love him again? Turn their children into weapons for Palpatine's use? The answer terrifies him because he knows what he would have done, what he's been planning to do. Take them by force if necessary. Control them through fear and power. Become exactly what he hated most. He buries his face in his hands. What has he become? The answer comes in an encrypted message the next day. It's from Bail Organa, sent just before he died, from complications of the injuries Anakin inflicted. The message contains coordinates to a safe house in the unknown regions. And a single line of text. She wanted to see you one last time, to say goodbye properly. But only if you come alone. Only if you promise not to hurt anyone. This is her choice, Anakin. Respect it. If you ever loved her. Anakin stares at the coordinates for a long time. It could be a trap. Could be the rebellion trying to kill him. But the message is authenticated with Bail's personal codes, ones only he and a few trusted allies would know. And Anakin realizes he doesn't care if it's a trap. He needs to see her, needs to know if there's anything left worth saving. He erases all record of the message from Imperial systems. Then he tells Palpatine he's pursuing a lead and sets course for the unknown regions, alone. The journey takes 3 days. 3 days of hyperspace travel with nothing to do but think. Anakin reviews every choice he's made since Mustafar. Every justification, every rationalization, and he finds them all hollow. The safe house is on a small moon, covered in dense forests. Anakin lands his ship in a clearing and walks through the woods on foot, his senses extended through the Force. He can feel her presence like a beacon, warm and familiar, even after years apart. The house is modest, hidden among the trees. Smoke rises from a chimney. It looks peaceful, safe, the kind of place you'd raise a family far from the wars and politics of the galaxy. Anakin approaches slowly, his heart pounding harder than it has in any battle. The door opens before he can knock. Padme stands there. She's older, wearier, dressed in simple clothes instead of senatorial robes. Her hair is pulled back in a simple braid. There are lines on her face that weren't there before, signs of stress and hardship. But she's alive. She's here. And for a moment, Anakin forgets how to breathe. Hello, Ani. The nickname, that simple, affectionate name she gave him when they were young and in love, breaks something inside him. Tears stream down his face as he takes a step forward. Padme, I thought you were. I know what you thought. Padme's voice is controlled, but he can hear the emotion underneath. The Emperor made sure of that, didn't he? Made sure you believed I died because of you. Made sure you blamed Obi-Wan, blamed the Jedi, blamed everyone but him. I've been searching for you. For 3 years, Every mission, every hunt, I hoped it would lead me to you. I know. Padme steps aside, allowing him to enter. I've heard the reports. Every Jedi you've killed, every world you've terrorized, all in my name, right? To protect me? To save me? The accusation in her voice is like a physical blow. Anakin enters the small house, looking around. It's simply furnished, but comfortable. There are hollows on the walls, pictures of Luke and Leia at different ages. His children, growing up without him. I did what I had to do. The Jedi betrayed us. They tried to keep us apart. I couldn't let them. The Jedi kept us apart? Padme's voice rises, her control slipping. You killed them, Anakin. You killed children. Master Yoda told me everything before he went into hiding. The younglings in the temple, the Padawans on Kashyyyk. You did that. Not the Jedi, not the Emperor. You. I had no choice. I have no choice. Everything I've done for you, for our family, to keep you safe. Safe? Padme laughs, a broken, hollow sound. I'm hiding on a moon in the middle of nowhere, terrified that the man I loved will find me and drag me back to be a trophy in the Emperor's court. Our children grow up without their father because their father became a monster. That's your idea of keeping us safe? I'm not a monster. Anakin's voice cracks. I'm not. I'm still me. Padme, I'm still the man you fell in love with. Look at me. I'm healed. I'm whole. Not trapped in some suit. Not turned into Palpatine's mindless puppet. I'm still Anakin Skywalker. Padme steps closer, her eyes searching his face. Are you? Because when I look at you, all I see is what you've lost. Your compassion, your kindness. The boy who wanted to free all the slaves. The man who fought for justice. Where is he, Ani? Where did he go? He's still here. He's just trying to survive in a galaxy that took everything from him. The galaxy didn't take anything from you that you didn't give away willingly. Padme's tears flow freely now. You chose the dark side, Anakin. You chose power over love, control over trust. And now you have to live with that choice. We all do. Then help me make it right. Anakin reaches for her, but she steps back. Come back with me. Bring the children. We can be a family again. I can protect you from the Emperor, from anyone who would threaten us, under Palpatine, under the Empire you serve. What kind of life is that for our children? What kind of example are you setting for them? I can change. I can be better. Just give me a chance, Padme. Please. You can't change while serving Palpatine. You can't be better while hunting innocent people. And you can't be the man I loved while wearing the blood of children on your hands. Padme walks to the window, looking out at the forest. I brought you here, Anakin, not to convince you to change, because I don't think you can. Not while you're still trapped in the web Palpatine has woven around you. I brought you here to say goodbye, to let you see me one last time, so you'll know I'm alive, I'm safe, and I've made my choice, just like you made yours. No. Anakin's whole body trembles. No, I won't accept that. There has to be a way. I'll find one. I'll make this right. There is no making this right, Ani. Padme turns back to him, her face wet with tears, but her voice firm. You chose the dark side. You chose power over love, control over trust. And now you have to live with that choice. We all do. She walks to the door, opening it. It's time for you to go. Anakin could stop her, could use the Force to hold her there, to take her and the children by force. He has the power, has the skill. One thought and she would be his prisoner, unable to escape, forced to return to Coruscant. But Qui-Gon's words echo in his mind. To love without possessing, to protect without controlling. His hand, raised to use the Force, slowly drops to his side. If you ever need me, if you or the children are ever in danger, just send word. I'll come. No matter where I am, no matter what I'm doing, I'll come. Padme pauses at the door. I know you will. That's the tragedy of it all, Anakin. You'd burn the galaxy down to protect us. But you'll never understand that what we need protection from most is you. She closes the door softly. Anakin stands there for a long time, staring at it. He could knock, could force it open, could do so many things, but he doesn't. Instead, he turns and walks back to his ship. As he reaches the tree line, he stops. He reaches into his robes and pulls out a small device, a homing beacon, one that would lead the Empire right to this safe house. One press of a button and Palpatine would know where Padme is. He could have her brought back, have the children taken for training. He could have his family, whether they wanted it or not. Anakin stares at the device in his palm. Then he crushes it in his fist, letting the pieces fall to the ground. For the first time since Mustafar, he reaches out to the Force, not in anger or pain, but in sorrow. And for just a moment, he feels it. The light side, distant and faint, like a star seen through clouds, but still there, still waiting. He returns to Coruscant, a changed man. Not redeemed, he knows he's gone too far for that. But questioning, doubting, the certainty that drove him for 3 years has cracked. And through those cracks, uncomfortable truths are seeping in. Palpatine senses it immediately when Anakin enters the throne room. Lord Skywalker, your mission was successful, I trust. I found her, Master. She's dead, died years ago, hiding in the unknown regions. There's nothing left to find. It's the first time Anakin has deliberately lied to Palpatine. The deception feels strange, dangerous, but also liberating. A small act of rebellion against the man who has controlled him for so long. Palpatine studies him with those yellow eyes, and Anakin can feel the Emperor probing at his mind through the Force. But Anakin has learned to shield his thoughts, to bury his true feelings under layers of justification and dark side energy. Palpatine sees only what Anakin wants him to see. Grief over Padme's death. Determination to serve the Empire. How unfortunate. Palpatine settles back on his throne, but perhaps it is for the best. Attachments only weaken us, after all. Now you can focus on your true purpose. He leans forward, his voice taking on a calculating edge. Speaking of which, I've been considering the boy, young Luke. Perhaps it's time we brought him in for training. As a gesture of goodwill to the Lars family, of course. Anakin's blood runs cold. Palpatine knows. Of course he knows. He's probably known all along, been waiting for the right moment to use Anakin's children against him. The boy shows no force sensitivity, Master. I tested him myself when I was on Tatooine. He's just an ordinary child, not worth your time or attention. How strange. Palpatine's smile is predatory. My sources suggested otherwise. But no matter. There is the girl as well. Leia. I believe Bail Organa called her before his unfortunate passing. She is force-sensitive, is she not? Very much so. From what I understand, Bail Organa's daughter died with him. Complications from the injuries. I confirmed it personally during my investigation. Did you now? Palpatine rises from his throne, his presence in the Force growing oppressive, filling the chamber with dark energy. You are lying to me, my apprentice. And I wonder why. Have you grown attached to these children? Do you think to protect them from their destiny? They are innocent. They have no part in our war. There are no innocents, Anakin. Only the strong and the weak, the rulers and the ruled. Palpatine descends the steps, approaching Anakin slowly. And those children have the potential to be very strong indeed. Strong enough to replace you, should you continue to disappoint me. The threat is crystal clear. Anakin's hand moves to his lightsaber, fingers wrapping around the hilt. For the first time since he knelt before Palpatine in the Senate chamber all those years ago, he considers it. Considers striking his master down, ending this cycle of manipulation and control. Palpatine sees it and laughs, lightning already crackling at his fingertips. Go ahead, young Skywalker. Strike me down. Fulfill your destiny. Show me that you have truly embraced the dark side. But know this, if you kill me, every agent of the Empire will hunt your children. Every inquisitor, every bounty hunter, every soldier will seek them out. My death will trigger contingencies you cannot imagine. The Emperor takes another step forward, his yellow eyes boring into Anakin's. You may kill me, but can you kill them all before they find Luke and Leia? Can you protect your precious family from the full might of the Empire, or will they die screaming, paying for your betrayal with their innocent blood? Anakin's hand falls from his lightsaber. Palpatine has won again. As long as Luke and Leia exist, as long as they're vulnerable, Palpatine has leverage. The ultimate leverage. Now, Palpatine's voice becomes businesslike, as if they hadn't just stood on the brink of violence. You have a choice to make, Lord Skywalker. Continue to serve me faithfully, and I will allow your children to live in peace. Hidden, forgotten, no threat to anyone. Or defy me, and watch as I turn them into weapons against you. The choice is yours. Anakin bows his head, defeat weighing on his shoulders. I will serve, Master, as I always have. Good. Then let us hear no more of these children. They are dead to you now, Anakin. Focus on the work ahead. There are still Jedi to hunt, still rebels to crush, still a galaxy to bring to heel. Anakin leaves the throne room, his mind churning. He cannot defeat Palpatine alone, cannot protect his family while the Emperor lives. But he also cannot continue serving, knowing what Palpatine plans for Luke and Leia. There is only one option left, one path he never thought he'd take. That night, from his private quarters, Anakin sends an encrypted message to a set of coordinates he memorized long ago. A message to the rebellion's network, to the people he's hunted for 3 years. The message is simple. I want to help. I know I've done terrible things, killed your friends, destroyed your hopes, but I'm done serving Palpatine. I want to bring him down, but I need guarantees first. Protection for my family, safety for Padme, Luke, and Leia from the Empire. In exchange, I'll give you everything. Every Imperial secret, every military plan, every weakness in Palpatine's defenses. I will help you destroy him. But my family comes first. Always. He sends the message and waits. For 3 days, there's no response. 3 days of continuing his duties, hunting rebels, pretending nothing has changed. 3 days of wondering if the message was intercepted. If Palpatine knows, if this is the end, then, finally, a response comes. It's from Mon Mothma herself, leader of the growing rebellion. We cannot trust you, Anakin Skywalker. You have killed too many of our friends, destroyed too many of our hopes, committed too many atrocities in the name of the Empire. But we are desperate. And you offer us something we've never had before. A chance to strike at the Emperor himself. Here are our terms. You will prove yourself by completing one mission for us. We have intelligence that Jedi Master Ahsoka Tano is being held in an Imperial detention facility on Stygian Prime. Free her. Bring her to us alive and unharmed. Do this, and we will consider your offer. Fail or betray us, and you will have made enemies of the only people who might have helped you. The choice is yours. Ahsoka, his former Padawan, his little sister, in all but name, the one person he's avoided, hunting for 3 years because he couldn't bear to face her. Now, she's the key to everything. Anakin accepts the mission without hesitation. The Imperial detention facility on Stygian Prime is a fortress carved into a massive asteroid designed specifically to hold Force-sensitive prisoners. Its walls are lined with cortosis to prevent lightsaber escape. Its guards are trained to combat Jedi. Its security systems are state-of-the-art, and Anakin has full access to all of it. As one of the Empire's most trusted enforcers, he can walk through the front door. He arrives in his personal ship, transmitting his Imperial codes. The facility commander meets him at the main hangar. A severe woman named Captain Jarrus, who has overseen the imprisonment of 17 Jedi in her career. Lord Skywalker, we weren't expecting you. Is there something specific you require from the facility? The Togruta prisoner in maximum security. Cell Block D, Level 7. I'm to interrogate her personally. The Emperor wants to know the locations of any remaining Jedi Council members before her execution. Captain Jarrus nods crisply. Of course, my lord. I'll have her brought to Interrogation Room 3. It's equipped with neural disruptors. If she proves difficult, that won't be necessary. I'll conduct the interrogation in her cell, alone. Sir, protocol dictates that all interrogations of high-value prisoners be monitored. And are you questioning the Emperor's direct orders, Captain? The woman pales slightly. No, my lord. Of course not. I'll have the guards clear the corridor. You'll have complete privacy. Anakin follows her through the facility's maze-like corridors, past cells containing broken Jedi, former senators who spoke against the Empire, and rebellion sympathizers. He can feel their despair through the Force, their hopelessness seeping through the walls, like a physical presence. He's contributed to this, filled these cells with people whose only crime was believing in something better than imperial tyranny. They descend into the lower levels, past increasingly heavy security. Finally, they reach an isolated corridor with a single reinforced door. Through the small viewport, Anakin can see her. Ahsoka Tano sits in meditation, her back straight, despite the uncomfortable metal bench she's perched on. She's older now, her montrals longer, marked with experience. Her presence in the Force is stronger than he remembers, refined by years of surviving on her own. Captain Jarrus unseals the door and steps back. The guards withdraw down the corridor at Anakin's gesture. Then he's alone with his former Padawan for the first time in over 3 years. The door opens. Ahsoka's eyes snap open, and when she sees who stands there, her composed meditation shatters like glass. You. Her voice is filled with such pain, such betrayal, that Anakin physically flinches. I hoped it wasn't true. All the reports, all the stories about what you've become, I hoped they were exaggerating, that some part of the man I knew was still in there. But it really is you, isn't it? Anakin Skywalker, the Empire's attack dog. Ahsoka, please, I need you to listen to me. We don't have much time. Anakin steps into the cell, letting the door seal behind him. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to get you out. Ahsoka studies him carefully, her blue eyes searching his face for deception. Why? What game are you playing now? No game. I'm done serving Palpatine, done hunting Jedi, done pretending that what I'm doing is bringing peace. But I can't bring him down alone. I need allies. I need the rebellion. And they need proof that I'm serious. So I'm your proof? Your ticket to redemption? She stands slowly, her hands clenched into fists. You don't get to be redeemed, Anakin. Not after what you've done. There's too much blood on your hands. Master Plo Koon, Kit Fisto, Luminara Unduli, all those younglings on Kashyyyk. You killed them, Anakin. You hunted them down like animals. I know. The words come out as barely a whisper. I know what I've become, what I've done. Every name, every face, they haunt me. But my children, Padme, they're all in danger as long as Palpatine lives. I have to stop him, Ahsoka. Even if it costs me everything, even if I never earn forgiveness. For a long moment, Ahsoka just stares at him. Then, her expression softens slightly, just a fraction. You had children? Twins. Luke and Leia. They're young, innocent, everything I should have been. And Palpatine wants to turn them into weapons, wants to use them to replace me. I can't let that happen. Snips. I can't. The old nickname hangs between them. Ahsoka closes her eyes, and Anakin can see the war playing out behind them. The anger at what he's become versus the memory of who he was. Don't call me that. Her voice is quiet but firm. You lost the right to call me that when you put on that Imperial uniform, when you started killing our friends. I'm sorry, Ahsoka, for everything, for leaving the Order when you needed me, for not being there during your trial, for becoming this. I'm so sorry. Sorry doesn't bring them back. Sorry doesn't undo 3 years of atrocities. I know, but it's all I have. That and a chance to make things right. Or at least less wrong. Ahsoka opens her eyes and looks at him directly. If I help you, if I convince the rebellion to trust you, you have to promise me something. When this is over, when Palpatine is dead, you turn yourself in. You face justice for what you've done. No running, no hiding behind your power. You answer for your crimes. Anakin doesn't hesitate. I promise. Whatever punishment the rebellion deems fit, I'll accept it. I just need to know that my family will be safe. First, Ahsoka extends her hand. Then we have a deal, Sky Guy. But betray us, betray me, and I'll stop you myself. He takes her hand, and for just a moment, they're master and Padawan again. Two warriors who once fought side by side, now reuniting for one final mission. Now get me out of here before someone realizes something's wrong. The escape is almost too easy. Anakin escorts Ahsoka through the corridors as if she's being transferred to another facility. The guards salute as they pass. Captain Jarrus tries to question the transfer orders. But Anakin's authority is absolute. No one dares challenge the Emperor's enforcer. They reach Anakin's ship without incident. Only when they're in hyperspace, the facility disappearing behind them, does Ahsoka finally relax. I can't believe that actually worked. Being Palpatine's trusted weapon has some advantages. Anakin pilots the ship toward the coordinates the rebellion provided. At least until I'm not anymore. And when he realizes you've turned against him, then he'll send everything he has to kill me. Which is why we need to move fast. Strike before he knows I've betrayed him. Ahsoka settles into the co-pilot's seat, watching him carefully. The rebellion is on Dantooine. There's a hidden base in the ruins of the old Jedi enclave there. Ironic, isn't it? Fitting, maybe? Anakin adjusts their course. Ahsoka, before we get there, there's something you need to know. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm not asking to be welcomed back with open arms. I know what I am. But if we're going to stop Palpatine, we need to work together. I know. And for what it's worth, I believe you want to change. I can sense it. But wanting to change and actually changing are two different things. They travel in silence for a while. Then Ahsoka speaks again, her voice softer. What made you finally turn? After 3 years of serving him, what changed? I saw my son, Luke, playing in the sand on Tatooine, innocent and happy. And I realized that the greatest threat to his safety wasn't the Jedi or the rebellion. It was me. Everything I'd become, everything I served, would destroy that innocence. And I couldn't let that happen. So you're doing this for your family. That's how it started. But talking to Padme, seeing what I've become through her eyes, I realized it's bigger than that. The Empire is everything I swore to fight against as a Jedi. It's slavery in a different form. And I've been its most effective enforcer. Ahsoka nods slowly. Then there might be hope for you yet. Not redemption. You're right, that you've gone too far for that. But maybe atonement. Maybe a chance to do more good than harm before the end. The rebellion base on Dantooine is small but well organized, hidden among the ruins of structures that once housed Jedi training halls. When Anakin's ship lands, he's immediately surrounded by armed rebellion soldiers, their weapons trained on him. Mon Mothma and Saw Gerrera emerge from the crowd, flanked by guards. Mon Mothma's face is composed but cold. Saw Gerrera looks like he wants to open fire immediately. Anakin Skywalker. Mon Mothma's voice could freeze fire. You have a lot of nerve coming here. I have information you need. Plans for a strike against the Emperor. If you want to end this war, you'll listen. Why should we trust the man who killed half our leadership? Saw Gerrera spits on the ground. Who burned worlds? Who hunted our people across the galaxy? You're a monster wearing a hero's face. You're right, I am. But I'm also your best chance at killing Palpatine. Because I know him. I know his strengths, his weaknesses, his routines. And I'm willing to give you everything in exchange for one thing. Protection for my family. Help us? Mon Mothma steps closer. You want redemption. You want to feel better about yourself. But nothing you do will bring back the people you killed. Nothing will undo the suffering you've caused. I'm not asking for redemption. I'm asking you to use me. Point me at Palpatine and let me do what I do best. Then, when it's over, you can execute me if you want. Just keep my children safe first. Mon Mothma exchanges a glance with Saw Gerrera. The militant rebel still looks skeptical, but Mon Mothma raises her hand for silence. What exactly are you proposing? Anakin pulls up a holographic display from his ship's computer. In 3 days, there's a ceremony on Naboo. Palpatine is dedicating a new Imperial Academy. He'll be vulnerable, surrounded by politicians instead of his full security detail. If we strike then, with rebellion forces providing distraction while I confront him directly, we can end this. And if you're lying? If this is a trap, then you'll kill me, and you won't be any worse off than you are now. Saw Gerrera pushes forward. I say we kill him now. Save ourselves the trouble of wondering when he'll betray us. No. Ahsoka steps between them, her white lightsabers igniting. I'm vouching for him. He saved me from Stygian Prime when he could have killed me. He's telling the truth about wanting to stop Palpatine, the crowd murmurs. Ahsoka Tano, the former Jedi who walked away from the Order, carries weight with the rebellion. Her endorsement matters. Mon Mothma considers for a long moment. Then she nods slowly. Very well. We'll commit forces to the Naboo operation. But Skywalker, understand this. You are not one of us. You are a weapon we're pointing at the Empire, nothing more. And if you betray us, there will be nowhere in the galaxy you can hide. Understood. The next 3 days are tense. Anakin helps the rebellion plan their assault, providing detailed information on Imperial defenses, troop movements, security protocols, everything he's learned over 3 years of service. He gives freely. The rebellion leaders watch him constantly, waiting for betrayal. Some treat him with open hostility, others with wary curiosity. A few, mainly younger members who remember the propaganda, still see him as a hero, which makes him feel even worse. On the second night, Ahsoka finds him alone in one of the abandoned meditation chambers. He's sitting cross-legged, staring at the crumbling walls where Jedi once trained. Can't sleep? Haven't been able to sleep properly since Mustafar. Anakin doesn't look at her. Every time I close my eyes, I see them. The younglings in the temple, Luminara falling through the trees. Every person I've killed in Palpatine's name, good. Ahsoka sits beside him. You should see them. should remember them. That's how you make sure you never become that person again. How do you live with it, Ahsoka? The guilt? The regret? How do you keep going? I don't have guilt like yours. I never betrayed everything I believed in, but I have regrets. Leaving the Order when you needed me. Not being there when you fell. Not seeing the signs of what you were becoming. She pauses. But dwelling on what we can't change doesn't help anyone. All we can do is try to be better going forward. What if better isn't enough? What if I've gone too far to ever make amends? Then you try anyway, because the alternative is giving up. And that's not who you are. The Anakin Skywalker I knew never gave up, no matter how impossible the situation seemed. That Anakin Skywalker died on Mustafar. Did he? Or is he just buried under 3 years of lies and self-hatred? Ahsoka meets his eyes. You're doing this to save your family. That's selfish, yes, but it's also love. And love, real love, is what leads us back to the light. Not power, not duty. Love. Anakin is quiet for a long time. Then he speaks, his voice barely above a whisper. If I don't make it back from Naboo, if Palpatine kills me, will you watch over them? Luke and Leia, make sure they know that at the end, I tried to be better. Ahsoka nods. I promise. But you're going to make it back, Anakin. You're going to face justice. You're going to live with what you've done and try to make amends. That's harder than dying. And that's what you owe us. On the morning of the 3rd day, the rebellion forces prepare to depart for Naboo. Anakin stands in the hangar, watching fighters being fueled and soldiers checking their equipment. Mon Mothma approaches, her expression unreadable. I've been thinking about your proposal. About what happens after Palpatine falls. Anakin turns to her. Whatever you decide, I'll accept it. The galaxy will want justice. War crimes, tribunals, public trials. You've committed atrocities under the Empire's banner. The people will demand accountability. I know. And they should have it. But we also need stability. The transition from Empire to Republic will be chaotic. Having someone who knows the Imperial systems, who can help us navigate that chaos, would be valuable. She studies him carefully. I'm not offering forgiveness, but I am offering purpose. Help us rebuild what you helped destroy. Then, when the galaxy is stable, face your trial. You want me to help build the new Republic? I want you to atone by serving something greater than yourself. Is that not what Jedi do? The question strikes deep. Anakin has spent 3 years serving Palpatine's vision of order through control. The thought of serving a vision of freedom, of helping create something better than what came before, is both terrifying and appealing. I'll do whatever you ask. After we stop Palpatine, then let's go stop him. The ceremony on Naboo is beautiful. The planet's rolling hills and pristine lakes provide a stunning backdrop to the new Imperial Academy. Theed Palace, where Anakin first met Padme all those years ago, has been repurposed as an indoctrination center for future Imperial officers. Palpatine stands on a platform overlooking thousands of gathered citizens and Imperial personnel. His speech is masterful, painting a vision of order and security, of an empire that will last for 10,000 years. The crowd cheers. They believe him. They want to believe that sacrificing freedom for safety is worth it. Anakin stands in the crowd, his hood drawn to hide his face. Around him, rebellion operatives wait for his signal. Ahsoka is on a rooftop nearby, her white lightsabers ready. Mon Mothma coordinates the assault from a command ship in orbit. Palpatine's speech reaches its crescendo. And, as the crowd erupts in applause, Anakin lowers his hood and begins walking toward the platform. Guards move to intercept him, but they recognize the Emperor's enforcer and step aside. Anakin climbs the steps to the platform, and Palpatine turns to greet him with a smile. "Lord Skywalker, how good of you to attend. Walk with me." They move through the palace, away from the crowd. The royal guards follow at a distance. When they reach a private chamber, Palpatine dismisses the guards with a wave. The door seals, leaving them alone. "You think I don't know what you're planning?" The Emperor's voice is soft, almost amused. "You think I haven't seen the doubt growing in you? The weakness? I'm not weak. I'm done being your puppet." Anakin's hand moves to his lightsaber. "You were never my puppet, Anakin. You were my greatest creation. I took a slave boy and made him into the most powerful being in the galaxy. And this is how you repay me. By conspiring with terrorists and traitors, you lied to me. About Padme, about my children, about everything. You manipulated me, used me, turned me into a weapon against everything I once believed in. I protected you." Palpatine's calm facade cracks. "I guided you, gave you the power to shape the galaxy itself. Yes, I kept certain truths from you because you were not ready for them. You still aren't." Anakin ignites his lightsaber, the blue blade humming to life. "I'm ready for this." Palpatine's smile fades, replaced by cold fury. "So be it. You want to face me as an equal? Then face me as Darth Sidious, Dark Lord of the Sith." Lightning erupts from Palpatine's hands, massive arcs of blue-white energy that fill the chamber. Anakin raises his lightsaber, catching the lightning on the blade. The force of it drives him back, his feet sliding across the polished floor. Outside, explosions rock the palace. The rebellion has begun their assault. But inside the chamber, there is only the duel. Palpatine moves with terrifying speed, faster than Anakin has ever seen him move. His lightsaber, hidden in his sleeve, ignites in a flash of crimson. He's a blur of dark robes and red light, striking from impossible angles. His attacks fueled by decades of accumulated dark side power. But Anakin is no longer the conflicted warrior who fell on Mustafar. He is focused, determined, fighting not for power, but for something greater. His family, his redemption, his chance to make things right. Their blades clash with thunderous impacts. Palpatine channels the dark side, drawing on the suffering of billions across the galaxy. His attacks are vicious, meant to kill, to destroy utterly. But Anakin parries each one. His Form 5 technique, refined by years of combat. "You cannot defeat me," Palpatine hisses between strikes. "I am the dark side. I am inevitable. I am eternal. You're a parasite." Anakin presses forward, his attacks growing more aggressive, feeding on others' pain, others' fear. "But I'm not afraid anymore. Not of you, not of what I've become, not of what I have to do." He unleashes a combination of strikes that force Palpatine back. The Emperor's eyes widen in surprise. This is not the apprentice he trained. This is something different, something unexpected. Anakin uses techniques from all the forms he's mastered. The aggressive power of Gemso, the defensive precision of Sorisu, the unpredictable strikes of Ataru. He is light and dark, Jedi and Sith, something that transcends both philosophies. Palpatine responds with another torrent of lightning. Anakin doesn't block it this time. He absorbs it, draws it into himself, feels the agony coursing through every nerve. But he pushes through the pain and redirects it, sending it back at Palpatine with twice the force. The Emperor screams as his own power tears through him. He staggers, his ancient body failing. But he's not done yet. If I cannot have you as my apprentice, then you will die, and your children will take your place. I will find them, young Skywalker. I will turn them, and they will be everything you failed to become. The words ignite something primal in Anakin. Not rage or hate, but pure protective fury. The Force responds to his emotion, flowing through him like a river that's broken through a dam. He reaches deep, deeper than he's ever gone. Past the dark side, past the light, into the raw primal power of the Force itself. The chamber shakes. Stone cracks. The very foundations of the palace tremble. Palpatine's eyes widen with fear. Impossible. You're not strong enough to... Anakin brings his hands together, and a wave of pure Force energy explodes outward. It's not light or dark. It's both and neither. It's the Force in its purest form, responding to a father's desperate need to protect his children. The wave slams into Palpatine with devastating force. The Emperor tries to shield himself, tries to resist, but against this, he has no defense. The energy tears through his body, through his connection to the dark side, through the very essence that has kept him alive for so long. Palpatine's scream echoes through the palace as his form begins to disintegrate. The dark side energy that sustained him for decades burns away like fog in sunlight. In seconds, all that remains is ash and the lingering stench of ozone. Anakin collapses to his knees, completely drained. The chamber is in ruins around him. Walls cracked, windows shattered. He can hear fighting in the distance as the rebellion battles Imperial forces. But it's fading. With Palpatine dead, the command structure is in chaos. The door bursts open. Ahsoka rushes in, her lightsabers ready for battle. She stops when she sees Palpatine's remains, then looks at Anakin kneeling in the destruction. Is it done? Anakin nods, too exhausted to speak. Ahsoka deactivates her weapons and helps him to his feet. Come on. We need to get you out of here before Imperial reinforcements arrive. No. Anakin pulls away gently. I promised I'd face justice. I'm not running. You can barely stand. We'll get you medical attention first. Then, I made a promise, Ahsoka. To you, to the rebellion. I'm keeping it. The rebellion secures Naboo within hours. Imperial forces, leaderless and confused, surrender or retreat. News of Palpatine's death spreads across the galaxy through holonet channels the rebellion has hijacked. The reaction is mixed. Some worlds celebrate, seeing it as liberation. Others panic, fearing the chaos that will follow. Imperial warlords begin seizing territory. The Senate fractures into competing factions. The galaxy teeters on the edge of civil war, but slowly, carefully. Mon Mothma and the rebellion leaders begin to establish order. They broadcast evidence of Palpatine's crimes, show the galaxy what the Empire really was, offer a vision of something better, a new republic based on freedom and justice. Anakin is taken into custody. They strip him of his lightsaber, his equipment, everything that made him the Empire's most dangerous weapon. He doesn't resist. True to his word, he goes quietly into a detention cell. 3 days later, Mon Mothma visits him. The galaxy is in chaos. Imperial warlords fighting for territory. The Senate fractured and unable to govern. We're trying to hold it all together, but it's difficult. I know. Anakin sits on the narrow bunk, staring at his hands. I helped create this mess. I understand if you want to execute me immediately, it would send a message. Mon Mothma is quiet for a moment. The Rebellion Council is divided on what to do with you. Some want you executed as an example. Others think you should stand trial first. A few even suggest we use you to help stabilize the transition. And what do you want? Senator, I want justice, but I also want peace. And I'm not sure we can have both. She pauses, studying him. There's someone here to see you. I think you should talk to her before we make any final decisions. The door opens and Padme enters. Anakin stands slowly, unable to believe she's here, that she came despite everything. Padme, how did you? Ahsoka contacted me, told me what you did, that you killed Palpatine, that you turned yourself in. I kept my promise. I chose them, our family, over everything else. Padme's eyes are wet with tears, but her voice is steady. I know, and that's why I'm here. Not to forgive you, I can't do that. Not yet. Maybe not ever. But to tell you something important. She sits down across from him, and for the first time in years, they're close enough to touch. But neither reaches for the other. Luke and Leia need their father. Not the warrior, not the Jedi, or the Sith, or the Imperial enforcer. Just their father. Whatever punishment you face, whatever consequences come from your choices, they need to know you tried. They need to know that in the end, you chose love over power. I don't deserve them. I don't deserve you. I don't deserve any of this. No, you don't. Padme's voice is firm, but not unkind. But they deserve to know who you really are. All of it, the good and the terrible, the hero and the monster. So when this is over, when you've paid your debt to the galaxy, I want you to come find us. Not as my husband, not as the chosen one, just as their father. Can you do that? Anakin nods, tears streaming down his face. I will. I swear I will. However long it takes, whatever I have to do, I'll earn the right to be their father. Padme stands to leave. Then she does something unexpected. She reaches out and touches his cheek gently. The first affectionate contact they've had in years. Goodbye, Ani. I hope someday you find the peace you're looking for. Then she's gone, and Anakin is alone with his thoughts and his regrets. The trial lasts for months. Anakin Skywalker is charged with war crimes, crimes against sentient beings, and violations of the Old Republic's laws. The evidence is overwhelming. Hundreds of witnesses testify to his atrocities. Holovids show him killing Jedi, executing prisoners, terrorizing worlds. But there are also witnesses who speak of his final act. Ahsoka testifies about the rescue from Stygian Prime. Rebellion soldiers describe how he provided critical intelligence that enabled Palpatine's defeat. Mon Mothma explains his role in ending the Empire. The galaxy watches the trial with rapt attention. Some demand execution. Others call for mercy. The proceedings become a referendum on justice itself, what it means, how it's applied, whether redemption is possible for the worst crimes. The verdict, when it finally comes, reflects this complexity. Guilty on all counts. The evidence is too clear, the crimes too heinous to ignore, but the tribunal recognizes his final turn against Palpatine, his cooperation with the rebellion, his willingness to face judgment. The sentence is unprecedented: life in service. Anakin Skywalker is exiled from the core worlds. He will spend the rest of his life traveling to planets devastated by the Empire, helping to rebuild what he helped destroy. He will work alongside former Jedi, former rebellion members, and the people he once terrorized. He will have no title, no authority, no special status, just labor and atonement. It will take decades, may never be enough, but it's a chance to do more good than harm before the end. On the day of his sentencing, Anakin stands before the Galactic Council in the rebuilt Senate chamber. They strip him of all titles and honors, removing every trace of his former glory. He is no longer General Skywalker, no longer the hero of the Republic, no longer the chosen one. He is simply Anakin, a man trying to atone for unforgivable sins. As he's led away to begin his exile, he sees them in the crowd. Padme holds 2 children, one on each side. Luke, now 3 years old, waves tentatively. Leia stares with those intelligent, penetrating eyes that remind Anakin so much of her mother. Anakin smiles at them. It's the first genuine smile he's managed in years. He may never be forgiven, may never be redeemed, but his children will grow up in a galaxy free from Palpatine's shadow. And maybe, in time, they'll understand why their father made the choices he did. 5 years later, Anakin works on a remote world in the Outer Rim, helping to rebuild a city destroyed during the Clone Wars. His back is bent from honest labor, his hands calloused from hard work. He lives in a small shelter with other volunteers, sharing meals and stories. He's older now, graying at the temples. The power he once wielded feels distant, like something from another life. He can still touch the Force, still feel its presence, but he uses it only to help lifting heavy objects, healing minor injuries, providing comfort to those in pain. One day, a ship lands at the settlement. Anakin doesn't think much of it until he hears a familiar voice. "Dad?" He turns to see Luke standing there. The boy is 8 now, tall for his age, with his father's blue eyes and his mother's kindness. Beside him, Leia stands with her arms crossed, evaluating Anakin with that penetrating stare. Behind them, Ahsoka waves. She's been bringing the children to visit every year, honoring her promise to Anakin to watch over them. "Luke, Leia." Anakin's voice cracks with emotion. "You came. Mom said we should meet you. Really meet you. Not just see you at the trial." Luke steps forward tentatively. "She said you made mistakes, but that you're trying to fix them. Are you?" Leia's voice is challenging. "Really trying?" Or is this just an act to make people forgive you? Anakin kneels down to their level. No act. And I don't expect forgiveness, especially not from you two. But I want you to know that every day I work to be better than I was, to do more good than the harm I caused. That's all I can do. Leia studies him for a long moment. Then she nods, just slightly. Okay, we'll see. Luke, less guarded, steps closer. Can you tell us about the Force? Mom says we're sensitive to it, like you. Anakin glances at Ahsoka, who nods encouragingly. Then he smiles at his children. I can. But first, you need to understand that the Force isn't about power or control. It's about connection, about loving without possessing, protecting without controlling. It took me a long time to learn that. Too long. But maybe I can help you learn it sooner. That afternoon, Anakin sits with his children in a clearing outside the settlement. He teaches them to feel the Force, to sense the living things around them. Ahsoka watches from a distance, a small smile on her face. For the first time since Mustafar, Anakin feels something like peace. He will never undo the harm he caused, will never bring back the people he killed, will never erase the 3 years he spent as the Empire's weapon. But he can do this. Can be a father, a teacher, a force for good in the small corner of the galaxy where he's been placed. And maybe, just maybe, that will be enough. That's our theory. The Star Wars universe is a galaxy filled with exciting stories and possibilities, and we love exploring them. If you want to accompany us on this journey to a galaxy far, far away, then please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.